Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's Dwayne with Off Grit, and today I am going to discuss or show you an update of the hydroponic garden and just show you around a little bit. I also wanted to address a couple things. First thing is I know that you probably see these podcasts that are being uploaded onto YouTube once a week right now, and just want you to know that it's not going to be a permanent thing on YouTube. We're going to load probably anywhere from 5 to 8 episodes on here. They'll be in their own sections. YouTube's not turning into a podcast for us. It's just that before I load these onto other formats like Spotify and things like that, we want to have a collection of them first. It's just a strategic thing for starting a podcast, and also working out the audio and the bugs and all that stuff, and just kind of settling into how I want to present these podcasts. So that's what's going on there. We're still going to have a YouTube channel here. It's not going to be as frequent. Like I said, I'm at a point now where I'm just so busy doing different things here, like building a house, trying to start a farm, and all these other things. And then in addition to that, in order to bring quality videos, because we're at like 4,000 subscribers right now, and I've made, I don't know, close to a couple hundred videos, maybe more. And there's a certain point where I have to make a decision on it and say, what direction am I going with this? And so what I decided the best thing to do would be to be less frequent on the videos, have someone with a better camera, better audio equipment and things like that, just do better quality videos and release them once in a while. And that's the road I'm going to take here, because I got so many different projects going on in all different directions: solar, gardening, house building, concrete work, and so when I present all that stuff constantly, it can get confusing for people, I think, and then they don't really know what direction this channel is going. So with that, I just wanted to kind of lessen that a little bit. And in addition to that, it's also a time thing for me. I don't have the time or the head space to do it, because if I'm out pouring concrete for a house build or I'm working on a foundation, I want to be focused on that 100%. And the way it's been, before was I'd be trying to set cameras up and, set up all these tripods and get different shots. And it was really interrupting my workflow. It started to, for what I was getting out of it, I guess. So I do want to keep people in the loop as far as the journey and everything, and this video is like an example of that. But I just wanted y'all to know that. So if you keep following along, it will be just videos on here eventually, but initially the podcast. So anyways, I'm gonna take you to the garden. Here we go. All right, so we're gonna head into the garden here, and you can see all the weeds starting to grow already. This transition is gonna be pretty big this year because we got a lot of rain this summer, or this winter. So yeah. Anyways, so here we are. Still a work in progress, as you can see, but this is an update off the other 2 hydroponic videos I did, just to show you how far along these plants are. First thing here, you can see that my lettuce is ready to be harvested. I should have harvested this a couple days ago, but I already have the lettuce ready to go here. These are obviously just personal lettuce here. This is prize head lettuce. So I'm going to be harvesting these, and I've got my chard. If you remember the last videos, it's really starting to get big here, and actually I need to kind of clear out a few of these because I think I have multiple plants in there. But yeah, it's growing very well, and it's doing its thing. And I have some spinach here, that's why it looks different. And then in here, just mostly spinach, which I really love spinach, so I eat spinach all the time. So I grow spinach for myself. So that's the spinach. If you remember from the last video, the chickens are now gone, and I'm going to take you over there to show you that chicken tractor in a minute here. But what I decided to do in here is pretty simple setup. I'm setting up flood trays in here, and all you do is you can set up a piece of plywood, or you can even do it on the ground. I just do plywood because we got rats and shit that come in here and they dig underneath, so I didn't want them puncturing the liner. And then I just have a pond liner in here, and all I do is I'll set these pots up in here, and this could act as like a nursery even, or you can grow plants full term. I got some corn started in here now, and you can see right there I got the corn set up. And then over there I have nothing yet, but I'm going to. And then what we'll have here is I will have basically, I'm going to have a container over here that will have my my fertilizer solution and water. And then eventually what I'll do is I'm going to have a system set up like a float that will go in here, and basically whenever the water gets to a certain level, the float will activate and the water will just gravity feed down into these and keep them at a certain water level. So that'll be more of like an automated system in here. And I'm going to be putting a shade cloth over top of this because it'll start getting hot here pretty soon. And so there'll be a 40% shade cloth that covers all the top here and a little bit down the side, and that will give this a nice shaded area to grow in the summer. And then of course I have my mosquito or plant netting to keep the bugs and the critters off of it. So I still got work to do in there. And then these roosters, I still haven't moved the roosters yet. The hens are out, but the roosters still need to go. So I'm working on that. This area over here is next in line. My next plant setup is going to be here. I'll show you what I'm growing here in a second, but basically I'm going to have some bush beans growing in here. And then I already got my, god damn it. Sometimes I forget. All right, the netting. I got the netting here to go over top of that to keep, the bugs and stuff like that out. Now, last setup here for this area here is in here, and you can see this is where you'll see the biggest difference because this stuff's been growing for a little while. If you remember last video, if you haven't checked it out here, check out my other hydroponic videos that I did recently. And you go in here and you can see, like, these potato plants were not even sprouted the last time I did this video. They were, I want to say it was about a month ago. But yeah, nothing in here was even sprouted in these bags. These are feed bags. And these are just potatoes. And now look at them. So they grow fast. Potatoes are easy to grow. I should have grew these a long time ago. A couple of my pea plants died, but some of them are really doing well. They're catching up here. I've been pulling the peas off them as they grow. So yeah, harvesting those. And yeah, so, and all this is hydroponic. These are all in the ground. I don't even know what I'm growing there, but yeah, I got weeds growing in here too, so I got to pull those. But these are the bush beans that are going in those containers next. These are Cherokee wax. And so I got enough of these growing to where I'll have some nice bushels of that stuff. And yeah, even got some carrots growing here. This is just an experiment, but I got a bunch of these are microgreen carrots, and I just grew them all together and kept them in here to see like if they'd turn into carrots, and they are. So pretty neat. All right, so I'm gonna take you outside and show you a couple more things. All right, so here we got our microgreens. These need to be harvested like yesterday. I should have harvested these by now. But microgreens are one of my favorite things to grow. I've been growing microgreens for years, but the reason I like them is there's a couple main reasons. Number one, they're quick. So I can grow these within like less than 2 weeks, and I'll have more microgreens than I can eat. And you can grow all kinds of different microgreens. These are radishes. These are mustard greens, because I like spicy stuff. And these are actually carrot microgreens, believe it or not. So those carrots I just showed you, I don't know if you can see through the net here, but yeah, these are carrot microgreens. They're delicious. They taste just like carrots, except for they're greens. So what's cool about them is that, and also the nutritional value that you get from microgreens is off the charts compared to even the grown version of that same vegetable. So there's a lot of research done on microgreens. They're easy to grow. And if you want to start a homestead and hit the ground running, this is one of the main things that I started on when I first started homesteading, was learning to grow microgreens. They're super easy to grow. So yeah, that's what I do here. This is obviously just a little personal area where I, add these to my eggs that come from my chickens. And speaking of the chickens, I'll take you over there and show you the chicken tractor. All right. So now I just had to walk up the hill here and show you the chicken tractor. Now, it's not an actual tractor. It's just a cage. This was actually a dog kennel that I welded up. Long story short, I welded this dog kennel because we had to go. My wife and I went on a trip to Hawaii for our anniversary, and I needed a place to keep my dogs, and I wanted it custom, so I built it myself. This is way overkill for chickens, but not using it for anything else. So basically all I did was I welded on some sections for the tires here to put on here. So I have tires. And you can see this area is generally flat. So I've had people ask me if this is hard to roll. Not really. And I only roll it like however the length of this is. You can see here, I'll show you like around. So what's cool is these chickens, man, they will eat all these weeds even in the desert. And you can just see I still got to put a nesting box in here. I'm working on that. I just add to this a little bit at a time. They have enough shade and stuff for this time of year because it doesn't get very hot yet. But as I go, I come out here like in the morning and just add to it. I still got to put a nesting box, and I want to put another little structure here so they can hide under it in the rain and stuff like that. But basically, you can see the difference from here over. And all I do is I move this cage in sections, and there's a lot of chickens in here for the size of this cage, I think. You know, I mean, I got like 13 birds in here, I think. But I do, I just move it every day or 2 days tops. And it gives them fresh ground. They love to just come in here and they look at their just, you know, chickens like to scratch. And so, you know, you put their feed and you just throw it in there with the weeds and they eat everything. So it's great. So because we got so many weeds out here now, it's going to become like unbearable pretty soon. So I'd like to get more of these set up, honestly. And it cuts back on your feed costs a lot, especially if you lived in a place like where there are, I don't know, greener pastures, I guess. But anyways, yeah, so that's a chicken tractor I've been talking about. And you know, it's pretty straightforward. I'm not the first person who's done one of these, but it is definitely cool. So anyways, I'm gonna get back to work, folks. That is the update on the hydroponic garden. I'll keep you posted.